No error message this time, Colleen.
Oh, hey. So maybe it worked.
Maybe it worked. Let me look. We're going to see. I'm going to look. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I know sometimes it takes a few minutes. It's working. We did it. We did it. So
that is beautiful.
Yes. So sometimes if you guys watch us live, you know that technology is not always our best friend.
No, not.
So I'm actually.
We always show up eventually.
Yes. So anyway, so how's your trip going so far? Before we dive in, while we're waiting for some people to join us, let's see how.
Well,
how's your trip going?
It has been going amazing. I can't believe how much we have fit in such a short period of time, quite honestly, since we lost most of our first day due to plane issues. And so clearly we were lacking a little on the sleep because, of course, on Sunday, our flight was originally at 6:00 in the morning. Okay. So we had to be to the airport at 4:30. So we got up at 3:30, so we had been up since 3:30 a.m. Sunday. Okay. We stayed up until probably 11.
Oh, wow, that's a long day.
Yeah, because we went to Magic Kingdom and did stuff. And then yesterday we did sleep in a little bit, but we still got up at like 8, and we were out we did not go to bed until after midnight last night. So this morning I set an alarm for 7, well, a little before 7, because I wanted to make a Slinky Dog lightning lane. Oh, and so I did, right? So my alarm went off a little before 7. I got my phone, I made the lightning lane, whatever. And then I'm like, I'm just going to lay back down and go to sleep again. 10:30, Tina. That's when we got up.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's good though, but you are on vacation.
I'm like, clearly I needed some sleep, I guess.
Well, exactly. And you are on, even though it's Disney, you are still on vacation. Mm-hmm. And it's okay to sleep in at Disney, even though some people may disagree with us.
Some people I know who we're talking about too. So, it's funny, my mom and I were talking about it last night while we were waiting for the monorail to go over to Epcot. And I said, I have come to Disney and I have done the barely sleep up at the crack of dawn, at the park for rope drop, stay until it closes. I've done that trip. I have done that trip.
Yes.
More than once.
Yes.
Yes. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. And you get home and you need a vacation from your vacation. I was like, you know what? I'm kind of over that now. Now I'm really kind of more all about the take your time and do your priorities, have a plan of what you really want to do. And don't worry about the rest of it. And if you are tired, sleep in. And if you need to go back to your hotel and take a nap, go back to your hotel. If you want to take a pool day, like today, we were going to do our podcast recording, but I also had decided we're at the Polynesian. I'm like, I can't stay at the Polynesian and not enjoy the resort. So I have to try to fit in some resort time. So we're like, we're going to go to the pool. We're going to go to Hollywood Studios later, but like not until way later.
No, so, I agree.
I think there's 2 ways to do Disney, and I'm going to the other way now.
You're coming to my side. My side. You're coming to my side.
I'm also going to the bougie side because a lot of my trip this time has been about being bougie, VIP, luxury, and kind of like, this is nice. I don't know if I can go back to the other way. I don't know.
See, Colleen, I have rubbed off on you. I have rubbed off. Now, if you were hitting up the spa this trip, then...
If I had like 2 more days, Tina, trust me, I would have fit in a VIP tour and a spa. I would have.
Yep. I'm rubbing off. So
you're rubbing off. We got to work on Dana next.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, wow. That one might be a tough one. She's getting there.
Tough nut to crack. She'll be a tough nut to crack.
But she's slowly getting there. I mean, she has come to the deluxe side.
Because you get older and you're like, this is a lot of walking and it's exhausting. And I really just want to lay down.
Yes. Well, so I want to tell our listeners before we get started on the official recording here, just to let you know, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. If you have questions about the Polynesian, Colleen has also stayed at the Contemporary. She did a split stay, and we're going to talk about that here in a minute. And if you have questions, and even general questions about Walt Disney World, what it looks like right now, definitely pop those in the comments, and we will answer them the best that we can. So, and provide you with some answers before we get started here on recording. So thank you, everybody who's joining us right now. We really appreciate it. Again, if you have questions, feel free to answer them. So, Colleen, are you ready to get started? We're going to do our recording spill and dive right into Colleen's trip. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome to the Magical Traveling Moms podcast. My name is Tina, and I am joined by my fabulous co-host, Miss Colleen, who is joining us live from Walt Disney World's Polynesian Resort. Don't be too jealous. But she is going to talk about her trip here in just a minute live. So, but before we get to that, we want to take a moment to thank the fabulous sponsors of our show, Mystical Dream Travel. Mystical Dream Travel is a full-service travel agency specializing in Disney destinations, all cruise lines, the Caribbean, Mexico, and more. Ready to plan your most epic vacation? Be sure to reach out to the wonderful travel advisors over at Mystical Dream Travel. You can look them up on social media or check out their website at mysticaldreamtravel.com. So, hey, Miss Colleen, I am so jealous you're staying at the beautiful Polynesian in Walt Disney World. How are you? You have to be fabulous.
I am fabulous after sleeping until 10:30 this morning. I certainly feel fabulous. But yeah, I keep joking with my mom. Can we stay just 2 more days? I just need 2 more days, okay?
Just 2 more days. Just 2 more days. So speaking of your mom, so you were on a mother-daughter trip. And
yes, I am.
So how is your mom loving it? She has to be having a great time.
She is. She is. She has always wanted to stay at the Contemporary and the Polynesian. So she was more than, I did not have to twist her arm to join me and check these things out. So I think that she's really enjoying herself. And it's always fun to come on like an adult only, a girls trip, and especially it's a lot different than coming with your family and your kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We get to kind of do our own thing, and we're not, we're going at a little slower pace maybe than if our kids were here or my kids were here. And we're enjoying the adult things, having drinks and hanging out. I want to go to Tiki Trader Sam's Grog Grotto. Tonight is my goal. So, that's something you're not going to do with your kids probably.
Probably not. Well, that sounds amazing. So you mentioned you started your trip out over at the Contemporary, and then you moved over to the Polynesian. So a great tip to share, you can do split stays at Walt Disney World, which is amazing. And so the agents over at Mystical Dream Travel can help you figure that out and what the best way is to do that. But we're going to talk about Colleen's split stay and the fabulous room she was in at the Contemporary, which I can't imagine would be hard to leave because I saw the video.
It was incredibly hard to leave, especially since we didn't get as much time in that room as we were supposed to have because we had some flight issues that delayed us getting here by several hours, which was a super bummer and just taught me that I need to always add more days. There just needs to be extra days.
Always.
But it was amazing. It was my first time staying club level.
Oh, nice.
At any of the Disney resorts. And I really don't know how I will go back to not staying club level.
Yes.
I'm just saying it was the most amazing experience. So, I'm not going to get into like all of the details, but let's just say Sunday was not a fun day. We spent a very long time in the airport. We had been up since very early in the morning. Things were not going our way. And so, it's hard to start your vacation off with a bunch of issues like that.
Absolutely.
The second I walked into the Contemporary and talked to the first cast member that greeted me, everything was fine. I mean, it was like amazing. They are so wonderful. And it was like a warm embrace. Like, that's how it felt. It was like, oh my gosh, you weary travelers, you have gone through so much. Let us take care of you. Oh, no, we're going to take your bags. Oh, no, don't do that. We're going to escort you up there to your room and we're going to get you a snack. Like, so club level at the Contemporary. There's two different club levels at the Contemporary. So the one we were staying at, so there's Atrium club level, which they told me is like floor 12 is where the club is, but all of the rooms aren't necessarily on floor 12. And then there's just like club level, which is what we were, which is floor 14. So it's actually the floor right under the California Grill. And all of the rooms and the lounge are all on that floor. And you cannot go to that floor unless you're staying there. So you actually have to scan your Magic Band in the elevator to choose floor 14. So only people staying there can even go to floor 14.
Oh, wow. You truly VIP.
It was very VIP. But I mean, so the cast member who first greeted us, like actually, she was a club lounge person. She like escorted us all of the way up there in the elevator. They had just been cleaning up. So in the evening, they have like snacks and stuff. So they'll have like appetizers and they might have like, they had salami and cheese and some shrimp cocktail. They have wine, like glasses of wine. They have beer.
Nice.
They also have non-alcoholic drinks for kids. They have sodas and juice and water. And they were just putting all of that stuff away. And they were like, oh, no, you need to have some of these snacks. So while we were like getting acquainted with the lounge or whatever, this other cast member was putting a snack plate together for us.
Oh,
like, what do you want? Oh, you have to have this. And she's like just putting everything on a plate. And there was a guy that was helping clean up, and he stopped what he was doing. Like, oh, well, you guys clearly need a glass of wine. So like glasses of wine. So we were like, immediately, it was like, like how the trip just immediately turned around, So it was like, oh, has been a terrible day. We've gone through so much, but then now all of a sudden it's amazing and we're okay. And we have wine and snacks and we're at the Contemporary.
That is amazing. Now, at that club level, can you see the Magic Kingdom fireworks from there?
Yes. So now there are theme park view rooms, I believe, as well. We did not have a theme park view room, but that's okay. In the lounge is like a theme park view. So right outside the lounge is a huge balcony with chairs and lounges, and it is the most gorgeous view of ever. I mean, you can see the Polynesian and the Grand Floridian and the whole bay.
I bet it's beautiful.
All of Magic Kingdom. And you have a great view of the fireworks. And they told us, you can always come and view the fireworks here. And they actually pump the music into the speakers of the lounge. So like out on the balcony and inside. So you can watch the fireworks and still hear like all the music and everything that they play. So that is really awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing to be able to.
I'm sure a lot of people come with their kids at night, in their pajamas, and they have desserts out at that time too. So there's like a little dessert party, watch the fireworks, have a glass of wine for mom and dad.
That is worth it. Perfect way to unwind.
Like doesn't it? I know.
Yes.
But then, so we got to go to our room. So then they brought us to our room. So there's no like just, oh yeah, just go to your room, check in. I got a text, but room don't. No. They they escort you like to your room. She carried our tray of snacks and we just had our glasses of wine,
Nice.
And so our room was amazing.
It was huge. It was so big. I was impressed.
Oh, and it was just, and that was just a standard room up there. They actually have a 1-bedroom suite and a 2-bedroom suite and a presidential suite. Go online and look at the pictures because hashtag life goals.
Yes, yes.
But we just had like a standard room, and I mean, there's nothing standard at all about this room. But it was gorgeous. It was huge, much, much larger than your regular room at any Disney resort or hotel in general. We had the 2 queen beds, but it was just, I mean, you walked in, it was like a hallway with so much closet space. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. There was 2 full closets plus a bunch of drawers in one closet. Then you still had drawers out in the room as well. So tons of space. 2 huge beds. I mean, they looked, I don't know, they were queen beds, but they just looked beautiful. And there was this mural of Frozone in the background. So I was super excited that it was Incredibles themed because I know like the regular rooms at the Contemporary got redone Incredibles. And I was like, kind of wanted to see them. You know, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. But I didn't think our rooms would be Incredibles themed. They are. They're just different. It's different than the other ones. And it's Frozone, so it's all blue and ice, you know, like Frozone's blowing all of the snow and the ice. And there was a poster, like painting of Frozone, and then there was a mural behind the beds. Beautiful light fixtures, very modern. Like it was very much like out of the Incredibles movie, right? It had this very modern feel to it. Huge balcony, and we had a Bay Lake view, so we were on the back side. So on our balcony, we could see all of the back part of Bay Lake. We could see the Fort Wilderness Campground. We could see the Wilderness Lodge, which I took a picture because I did not realize how close the Wilderness Lodge was to the Contemporary. It's actually really close.
Yes.
And we could see down to like the pool, the Contemporary pool. There's like some Mickeys in the landscaping, which is kind of cool. They have a dock with boats and stuff. So the view was incredible. Out there, even though it wasn't of the theme park, it was still beautiful, and you could see forever and ever. It was really great. But
I'm hoping you're bringing up what I think you're bringing up.
The best part was the bathroom.
Yes, I saw those pictures in your video. I was like, oh my gosh, that is amazing.
I could not even, so I didn't go in the bathroom at first, right? Of course, you walk in and like your first thing is to like walk into the room. So I like looked at the beds and I looked at the balcony and I was like, oh my gosh. So my first thing, of course, being, you know, whatever social media person, I'm like, oh, I have to do a live video on my private Facebook group. So I hadn't even gone in the bathroom yet when I started my live video. So I did a room tour live on my Facebook group and I went into the bathroom for the first time during the live video. And I like could not even believe what was in there. The shower,
amazing,
huge walk-in shower with a rain shower head. And then in the shower was a giant tub. It was a giant, beautiful bathtub.
It was it looks like a soaking tub.
Oh yeah, it was a soaking tub, like a giant soaking, beautiful bathtub. In the shower. That's to tell you how big the shower was. The shower was huge. And it was just stunning. And I'm like, okay, well, we need 2 more nights here too, clearly.
Yeah, I know. Your theme for this trip is 2 more nights.
Like, right. When you're planning your trip to Disney, just remember whatever you think you want to do, add on 2 more nights.
Yes.
That's my big takeaway. Yeah. My big step here. So I unfortunately did not get a chance to take a bath in the bathtub, but my mom did. She said it was amazing. She said it was a beautiful tub. It was like the perfect size, perfect depth. Like she was like, yeah, I would like to stay here longer.
I don't blame her. I stayed at the Contemporary a couple of years ago, but we did the Garden View rooms and I thought those rooms were really large. In size and very comfortable, and
they are.
And I was surprised to see inside the building how big the room is. I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, even the garden wing rooms, the Contemporary, are beautiful, but you want to treat yourself and be like a VIP because they are just so amazing. So in club level, there is a concierge more than usually there was 2 people. And they will basically answer any question you have, help you with whatever you want. So we had an issue. So here's something they helped me with. When I got there, I was like, so we have park hopper tickets. Originally, we were going to go to Epcot because we were supposed to get there at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We did not get there until 7 o'clock at night. So I made our park pass reservations for Epcot. Yeah. Because that's where we were going to go first. And then we were going to go to Magic Kingdom later. Well, we were clearly not going to Epcot. We had dessert party tickets for Magic Kingdom, which we had to be there by 8 o'clock. And the way that park hoppers are working right now, I don't know if everybody knows this, but you have to make a park pass reservation for the first park you're going to go to for the day. And then after 2 o'clock, you can hop to whatever park you want. But you have to go to the first park. You have to go and at least tap your magic band and enter the park you made the park pass reservation for before you can park hop.
Right.
So otherwise they're not going to let you in to the other park. So I know this. So I'm like freaking out. Like, I don't want to have to go all the way to Epcot just to tap in and come back out. And I had looked, because I knew this was going to be an issue when we were still at the airport. I had looked, and the park pass availability, no parks were available for our day.
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't cancel our Epcot and make a Magic Kingdom one, right? Because I could have fixed it myself if I was able to do that. But because no parks were available, I couldn't. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I asked them, I was like, is there anything that you can do to help me so that I don't have to go all the way to Epcot? And they were like, don't you worry about it. Just go have your glass of wine and eat your snacks and check out your room. And I'm going to take care. And they did. By the time we came back out, they were like, oh, we just want you to know everything's fine. You're all fine. You're all set. They called down to the Magic Kingdom basically and told them, and they were like, yep. And they fixed it in their system, and that was it.
See, that's the benefit of sometimes staying concierge VIP.
It was amazing. Yeah. Yes. So we did enjoy the snacks and some wine. And then the next morning we were able to enjoy the Continental Breakfast before we went to the park for the day. But it was a wonderful breakfast spread. I mean, it was delicious. And they have this very fancy coffee machine. And they had pastries and cereal and oatmeal. And they did have these eggs that were super good. They were coddled eggs. I've never had anything like it. It was very good. They had avocado toasts that were delicious. Nice.
So one of the benefits, I mean, right now there is no dining plan at Disney.
Right.
So staying club level actually is a nice benefit because you have some meals included.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot. I was impressed with how much they had. And then, so they have, the breakfast in the morning, and then midday, they have snacks out. And then in the evening, they have appetizers, but it's heavy appetizers. There were chicken fingers, and they had salmon. I mean, they had salmon with a sauce, shrimp cocktail. You could make a dinner out of it if you really wanted to, I think. And then they have the desserts later. So it's a lot of food and drinks. So that was the other thing that was nice is they had a cooler that was available all of the time. They have a refrigerator basically. And in the refrigerator were juice boxes, sodas. They had milk in there, chocolate milk, regular milk. They had bags of apple slices, bags of grapes, bags of carrots.
Oh, nice.
And I think they might have had even some the Uncrustables peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in there, and those were just that you could just go and take them whenever. They was always available.
That's nice. So right now I think staying club level is a great benefit. Just because you can have that extra meals available that you won't have to it's kind of prepaid in your room, so you don't have to pay for it in the park. So that's kind of a nice benefit. So you did do the dessert party, but we're going to save that conversation. Okay. We can talk a little bit about it if you want, but
no, we can save it. That's fine. I'll talk. Yeah. There's so much to cover, Tina. It's crazy.
I know it's hard. So Colleen did the Magic Kingdom 50th dessert party also. And I'm actually going next week to Walt Disney World, and she convinced me to do it based on seeing her picture. So I actually booked it for my family next week. So I'm really excited. I have done a dessert party before, never at the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
So I'm super excited to check it out, but we will save that if you're okay with it.
Okay, yeah, we'll save that to the end. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it, Colleen, but you left that beautiful room. However, I think you may have moved to a different resort that almost leveled up. I don't know. Would you say it leveled it up, or
if I had been staying club level here, I think I would have said maybe it leveled up. But and it was funny because when I told the club level cast members, I was like, unfortunately, we're only here the one night, and we're moving over to the Polynesian. And every single time I said that to someone, the first thing they said was, "Oh, are you staying club level over there?"
Yeah. It must be super posh there.
I'm sorry. This was kind of planned a little last minute.
Yeah.
So I had to get honestly, that was one of the reasons why I only stayed the one night over there, because that's all that was available.
Mm-hmm.
If the 3 nights had been available over there, I would have just stayed over there at the Contemporary, but they weren't. They only had the one night. So I had to move. And if you're going to move, why not move just across the lake to the Polynesian?
Oh, yeah. Why not? So the Polynesian is also on the monorail line, just like the Contemporary. Yes. Mm-hmm. And you can see a little peek of it if you're looking behind Colleen's shoulder there, a little the peek. Rooftop.
That's actually the building our room is in, too. That's
nice.
It's the Fiji building, and that is the building we're in, yeah.
Oh, very nice. So I haven't watched the room tour yet because I saw you.
Oh, you haven't? Oh my gosh.
I have to go back and watch it. So
the room is so awesome.
Yeah. So I love the Polynesian. I personally have not stayed there yet. So is this your first time at the Polynesian?
It is, and this has honestly been at the top of my bucket list of Disney resorts. I mean, I have a long list of Disney resorts I want to stay in, like all of them, basically all of them.
Yes.
I'm slowly working my way through it. And this was always at the top of my list. Like I come here to eat a lot. When I come to Walt Disney World, I will go to Kona Cafe for breakfast. But I have never actually stayed here until this time. So I've always wanted to stay here.
Well, let's talk about it. So you are in.
Okay. Well, we're talking about the room first. Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about the room. Then we can talk about the resort.
Okay. So I'm just so excited about all the things here. So we are honestly we're just in a garden view room. Mm-hmm. Like it's not anything fancy or, because they have some villas here. They have suites, they have club level. You can do a theme park view room. And, I had to take what was available. So garden view was what was available. Mm-hmm. And they just redid not that long ago all of their rooms to be Moana themed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Love her.
Oh my gosh, Tina, I can't wait for you to watch the room tour because it is so beautiful. Like I am geeking out in this room. All of the Moana touches are so beautiful, and they did such a good job with it. Like I think sometimes people think ooh, Disney themed room, like it's going to be cheesy. It's going to be, oh, hi, Janice. I think people think it's going to be too much for kids, and not appealing to adults or not nice, not luxury feeling,
Mm-hmm.
I assure you it is not. It is not of any of those things. It is not tacky. It is not like that. It is amazing. They have done a beautiful job of making it Moana themed, but in a really elegant and luxurious and just neat, cool way. There's all sorts of touches, beautiful murals and artwork. And then, Moana takes place in the Polynesian islands, right? Mm-hmm. So there's that sort of cultural aspect of the carvings of the wooden headboard, and even the grate over the air conditioning vent up on near the ceiling has those kind of tribal sort of design to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's just touches like that everywhere, like the light fixtures. It's like they didn't leave anything out, you know, everything just has like this feel to it that ties it all together. And it is still a very good sized room. And my mom pointed this out. She's like, oh, this room would be perfect for your family because my 2 kids hate sleeping together.
Oh, yeah.
They are terrible about sleeping together. And so a room with just 2 queen beds is not ideal for us. Well, this room has 2 queen beds and a futon. And then the futon becomes I believe the futon becomes a twin bed. So I'm thinking you can fit 5 people. Oh, Janice, you're coming to Walt Disney World. Janice, come on, let's go. We'll go to Trader Sam's. So that would be perfect. She's like, oh, this would be perfect for your family. I'm like, okay, twist my arm. We're always staying here when we come to Disney now.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I don't blame. I mean, I was a little worried about the Moana rooms when they did them because, like you said, the Polynesian is very posh, and
right.
So a little bit concerned about the. Yeah.
It's a more expensive resort, so it's like you want to appeal to that sort of client. But it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Well, when we're done here, I'm going to go watch your.
You have to go watch the room tour. I think we were lucky. So we got a first floor. Now I did not request anything. I could have, that's one of the things that I do for my clients. Let's say I would request like a certain floor or a certain building.
Yes.
I didn't do that for myself, but I did get lucky because we got a first floor room. And I would say that's a tip when staying at the Polynesian. You really want to try to get a first floor or a third floor room. You do not want a second floor room because the first floor, you have a patio. So we have like a cute little like stone patio. Mm-hmm. And there's 2 chairs and a table out there. And on the third floor, there's a balcony. It's not a huge balcony, but it's something. And there's a couple of chairs out there.
Mm-hmm.
On the second floor, you do not get a balcony. So there's doors that look like they open, like sliders. But then there's a railing. There's just like a railing.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
So there's no balcony. You can't like walk out. So I think you can just open the doors maybe to let air in or, look out there, but you can't walk out.
That's a good tip.
Would be my tip is always, ask your travel agent to request that you are first or third floor, depending on what. I love first floor because it's just so convenient.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just walk right out, and it's
you just walk right out, and there's no, there's no elevator, stairs and stuff, but it just takes you longer to get to your room. So,
amazing. So this resort is amazing. So if you've never, a lot of people go there for dinner, like you said. You've often went there. I've gone there for dinner or breakfast, and it is just absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. I mean, I think it transports you directly into the Polynesian Islands, like immediately as you walk in. So walk us through some of the stuff to do that you've been doing at the resort. So I know you're spending part of your day today at the resort, enjoying the pool. I bet it is amazing. I've never seen the pool, so I bet it's amazing.
So it is. I think it's one of the pools that if you don't stay here, if you've never stayed here, it's like nobody's seen it really because it's sort of hidden. There's like these rocks, like lava rocks, like it's supposed to be like a volcano, and so it's kind of surrounding where the actual pool is. So until you get into the pool area, like you don't really see the pool. I agree, Janice. Kona Cafe is my favorite breakfast of all Walt Disney World property, like hotel, the parks, anywhere. I love Kona Cafe. And the coffee, they have a coffee here, Kona Coffee.
Oh, yes.
That is amazing. So they have like a coffee little like cafe too near Kona Cafe where you can just get coffee and pastries. So first I have to tell you though, so this is new. The renovation, they also introduced a new like welcome experience.
Oh.
So when you arrive at the resort and you first go up to, the cast members are there to greet you, for you to check in. They actually give you a lei now. So everybody gets a lei, like flower necklace. Yep. And they have all these different colors. And then there is a photographer stationed like in the entryway there because the entryway is so beautiful outside. There's like tiki torches all day long. The tiki torches are lit. And then there's waterfalls and this like water feature, right? And even if you go there to eat, you're gonna like walk through there, and they have a photo pass photographer hanging out there to take your picture, like with that in the background.
Oh, it's amazing. I bet it's beautiful.
Yes. So they've made this like beautiful sort of experience, just like if you were going to Hawaii, when you arrive at your resort, you would get like a flower lei and all that. So it's just very welcoming. So I loved it. But yeah, there's some amazing food here. Kona Cafe and Ohana are sit-down restaurants, but even Captain Cook's is the quick service. And they have some delicious food there. I mean, you can get like a cheeseburger and chicken fingers, and there's kid-friendly stuff. But they also had like Hawaiian meatballs, like Hawaiian coconut meatballs with like rice. They have the chicken wings from Ohana.
Ooh, nice.
And I think I heard, I have to check it out, that you can get the noodles from the Ohana dinner at Captain Cook's too.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
So I know I'm like already thinking about my lunch here. Oh, and at breakfast, you can get the Tonga toast at Captain Cook's.
Oh, that's nice.
So Tonga toast, for those that don't know it, is one of the most famous dishes at Kona Cafe, and it is a giant piece of French toast, and it is stuffed with bananas. And I think they're seasoned too, like, you know, cinnamon and vanilla and sugar and all of that. And then there's like a berry compote that you put over the Tonga toast. So Tonga toast is one of those things that like everybody goes to Kona Cafe to eat. Well, you can get it at Captain Cook's.
Oh, it sounds amazing. It sounds amazing. Now, so we need to go back to the pool.
Yes, the pool has a water slide. There's all of these like waterfalls like on the back side of like the volcanic rocks, and it just sounds like you're in Hawaii. Like that's all I can think is there's like all these sounds of water running down the mountain, and they have like a kid splash area, like a really fun little kid splash area with different water features, and then a beautiful pool, and it overlooks the Bay Lake and like Magic Kingdom and all of that. And they have a beach. They actually have a couple of beach areas with like real sand, you know, and
nice.
There's hammocks and swinging chairs. And you can see the Magic Kingdom fireworks out there at night.
I bet that's beautiful to see, to sit there and just relax, and then you don't have to be in the crowd of everything else. Now, does the Polynesian get the nighttime water pageant parade?
Yep. Yes. The electric water parade.
Yes.
That comes around, and on the piece of the schedule we got, I think it said it was like 8:30, usually around 8:30.
Okay.
And yeah, it goes all the way around Bay Lake. So I think it starts over by the Contemporary. I don't know which end it starts in, but it goes around the whole lake, so you can see whether you're staying at the Contemporary, the Grand Floridian, or here, you can see it go by. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
We were not here last night to see it, so we might be here tonight though to see it. And there are these beautiful like carvings, like wooden carvings all over the place, and beautiful lush tropical flowers. And I mean, it just really feels like you're in the islands. Like that's the theming and the vibe here. And they are always playing like this beautiful music. And actually, last night, where I'm sitting right now is Trader Sam's Tiki Terrace. So there's Trader Sam's Grog Grotto, which is like a really cool bar inside that I'm hoping to go to tonight. It's got a secret entrance. You kind of have to find it. And then they come out and they give you a hard time about coming in. And I know there was a line actually last night to get in there.
Oh, wow.
And they have like some really cool cocktails, and some special things happen when you order different ones. So I'm really hoping it's open until midnight. So I'm hoping tonight we get a chance to go in there. And on the outside, they have a terrace that's all outdoor seating, and you can also get drinks out here in the afternoon, and they have live music. So last night they did have a gentleman guitarist who was playing like beautiful music, and it was just like I was hard to leave. We were going to Epcot, and I was like, oh, I kind of want to stay here and hang out, but I also want to go to Epcot. So
It's oftentimes hard to, when you stay at these amazing resorts at Walt Disney World, it's hard to leave when you start getting into the entertainment and the other activities that are at the resort, because they're just as wonderful, and it gives you, like a more relaxing feel. So for those that really kind of like a more chilled vacation, we do highly recommend taking advantage of your resort and not, and experiencing the things they have there. Yes, absolutely.
I always try to talk people into doing a resort day, because especially like you're saying, when you're staying at a resort like the Polynesian, they have pool activities all day long. They have live music. They have great food. They had crafts last night when we were walking through the lobby to the monorail. Mm-hmm. They were doing crafts with the kids in the lobby. Beautiful pools, beaches. You can go fishing. You can rent a boat. There's just so much that you can do here.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for you, it's like a little teaser for our Hawaii trip next year.
I know, right? I know. I think I might have to come back here and stay more days, like to fully prepare for Hawaii. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think I'll join you on that one. So you've convinced me. I love the Polynesian. It's been on my list of I have this long bucket list of resorts to stay at. Sadly, we are not staying at the Polynesian next week. So I know. Too bad for me, huh? So, but we will.
I do have a couple of tips that I wanted to share.
That's what I was going to ask. Yes.
About the Polynesian before I move on. So one of the tips actually brings up what you were just saying. You're not staying here. This resort books up very fast.
Yes, it does.
Like very far in advance, honestly. And if you, especially like I got lucky because I only wanted 2 nights. So if you only are doing 1 or 2 nights or something, maybe you can find something. But if you want to do a whole week at the Polynesian, you need to book very, very far in advance, because this resort's very popular and it's not a huge resort. So I don't think there's as many rooms as some of the other resorts. Mm-hmm. So you definitely want to book it far in advance if you want to stay here. But also, so you mentioned it's on the monorail. So you can take the monorail to the Magic Kingdom. And then there's also a monorail that goes to Epcot.
Yes.
Okay. So from the Polynesian, the monorail is upstairs, like where you get on. If you're going to Magic Kingdom, go up there and take the monorail to the Magic Kingdom. However, if you are going to Epcot, a quicker way is there's a walking path from the Polynesian to the Ticket and Transportation.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I think we might have lost Colleen here. Let's see.
Because otherwise you have to go all the way around.
Okay, I think we lost you a little bit there. So you were saying, I think we just lost Colleen. So hopefully maybe she will join back on. I will give it here a few minutes. If not, I will just kind of wrap up. So if you have any questions about Walt Disney World, for those that are watching, so we have quite a few people watching, please pop them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them while we wait for Colleen to hop back on here. There she is right there. But if you have any questions, feel free to put them in. I'm going to bring her in 1 second. She's popping back on. It's a little slow. This happens sometimes when you're in destination. But if you have a question about the Polynesian, or you have a question about Walt Disney World, feel free to pop them in the comments, and we're happy to answer. So welcome back, Colleen. We lost you there for a few minutes.
Gotta love the Disney Resort. The Disney Resort Wi-Fi is so great.
Yes. So real quick, you were saying about the monorail, if you're going to Epcot, to take a short walking path.
Yes, it's quicker, right? So there's a very short walking path over to the Ticket and Transportation Center, which is where you have to get the monorail to Epcot.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, I see we have a question. Yes. So you can
check out the different resorts during your visit.
Yeah, so it's a little tricky. I I think that some of the resorts, it's easier to just go over to than others. But you can. The short answer is yes. But if you're driving your own car, some of the resorts are not going to let you in unless you have a dining reservation at that resort. Like the Contemporary is one where, like, if you're driving, they're not going to let you in unless you have a resort or a restaurant reservation there or you're staying there. But you could always get a bus, you know, like you could take like a bus to that resort instead and see it that way. But I other resorts I don't think are probably as picky about letting you in if you don't have a reservation.
Right. I think if you want to check out different resorts and you're staying on property and you specifically want to look at resorts maybe in the Magic Kingdom area, it's very easy to hop on the monorail and just kind of work your way around to each of the resorts. And then if you're over in the Epcot area, you can take the back entrance out and go over to the boardwalk and you can check out 3 resorts over there. I think those are the ones that I would say would be the easiest ones to check out. Don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely those would be. But you could take even like the Wilderness Lodge, you can get like a water taxi from Magic Kingdom over there. You can get a water taxi. I wonder if they let you go over to Riverside and French Quarter from Disney Springs if you're not staying there. I don't know. But I feel like those resorts,
I think they don't check.
Yeah,
when you get on the boat.
I was going to say, I don't think they check. So, but I also don't think those resorts are probably as picky about if you drove there and said, I just want to check out the resort. I know they're picky about it up here because they don't want people taking advantage of parking and then going to
exactly.
Yeah, they don't want people to do that.
No, I agree.
But yeah, you can.
No, I agree.
So,
well, we don't want to keep you too long because we'll see how our internet's holding up. So I thought maybe you could share. So Colleen has been in the parks, and we're going to save all that because her and I are going to do a full podcast on both of our trips combined, and we're going to share a bunch of tips coming up. But I thought maybe before we let you go and back to hitting the pool, which we're all very jealous of, and enjoying your vacation with your mom, I thought maybe if you could maybe want to share like 1 or 2 tips that maybe you have either about the parks or about the resort or about split stay. I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah. So I do have a tip about split stays. So if you're doing a split stay, which is a really great way to check out more than one resort while you're staying here. And I think it would be a great idea if you're going to do like at the beginning of your trip, Hollywood Studios and Epcot, stay at the resort that's closest to them, like Yacht Club. And then you want to do Epcot and Magic Kingdom, move over to like the Contemporary, because then you have the best convenience for all of those parks. But I'm happy to report that they have brought back Luggage Assistance. So if you are switching resorts, you can ask the bellhop at the resort you're leaving, and they will take your luggage and transport it to your new resort.
That's an amazing tip because then you don't have to worry about. You can go check in at your new resort and then go to the park.
Yeah, well, and like
immediately.
You can check in on your app too. So like what we did was we checked out of the Contemporary, left our bags with them, and we just went straight to the park. We went to Animal Kingdom, and then when we were done at Animal Kingdom, we just came back to the Polynesian.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Well, thank you, Colleen. I don't want to keep you too much longer because I know you want to get back to your vacation and enjoying the wonderful resort. And I know you're going to Hollywood Studios later. So just a quick tip. If you want to follow along on Colleen's adventures, I highly recommend that you give her a follow on both Instagram and Facebook. Colleen does a fantastic job of updating her the story feature on both Instagram and Facebook. And you could see all the things that she's doing because she always has some fabulous videos and food pictures and everything under the sun that she does. So make sure you follow her, give her a quick follow. It's Colleen with Mystical Dream Travel. You can follow her both on Instagram and Facebook, and you can follow her at Vacation Adventures at Walt Disney World. So thank you, Colleen, for taking the time out of your wonderful vacation. And And thank you for enjoying us. And so Jenny says, Colleen is the best.
Aww.
She is awesome. And thank you for taking the time. I want you to go back and enjoy that time with your mom. And as I said, Colleen, I'll be diving deep into Walt Disney World, a couple of things that she experienced and I will be experiencing next week. And we're going to share that on some upcoming podcasts with all of you. So make sure you tune in. So thank you guys for listening and your questions and for watching today. We truly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments. Colleen and I would love to hear your feedback. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications wherever you listen to podcasts. And follow us over on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Until next time, may all of your vacations be magical.